And again, that was Bob Dylan singing The Times They Are A-Changin'. Interesting that he really legitimately cuts out the G in that song. That would bother some people, but not me.
No comment on this.
See, I'm a rebel. I don't care about that G. Moving on.
Move on.
We have a guest with us today. We are very excited about this guest. He is currently a political science major here at Pepperdine University. He is a freshman. His future aspirations. Ooh, I can talk about his future aspirations. To seek out career opportunities in private defense, political science, or the economic sectors of Arizona.
Or anything profitable.
So we are currently talking with the future governor of Arizona.
I don't think so at all.
You don't think so?
No.
You're more of a senator, aren't you?
Senator?
No comment.
Secretary of the Treasury?
Okay.
No comment on that issue, Mitch. I know where you're going with
You
this.
have a great political future in front of you just based on that answer alone.
That was very PC.
I've been practicing it quite some time now,
right.
so...
But anyways, it is very good to have you on, Brian.
Thank you for having me. I'm very excited to be on the show. You know, it's been one of my lifelong dreams to be on Mitch Snow's show with Dino. I mean...
Yeah, many people
and we just met Brian, or I just met Brian.
Dino just met Brian. This is very fresh.
This is very fresh, I think. The beginning of a great relationship.
It is.
Yes.
I completely concur.
It's blossoming as we speak.
Very much so. So Brian, you do have a little bit of a history with one particular Republican nominee's campaign. You were the assistant to the Arizona State fundraising director for Mitt Romney's campaign, his current presidential campaign.
That's correct.
And you worked in collaborating with the director on fundraising events, donor support, and fundraising strategies. So it's basically your fault that all those people in Arizona were getting phone calls trying to support Mitt Romney. Correct?
It's more of like... It's my responsibility to give them the opportunity to help correct the wrongs that have been done in recent administration.
So it's your responsibility to create opportunities then.
Opportunities, definitely.
That sounds a lot better
creating
than
opportunities.
I like that.
It sounds a lot better than just being a person going for money.
Yes.
You're an opportunity creator.
I like that.
Anyways, you actually had a chance to meet Mitt Romney, did you not?
I did several times.
How is that? How is he in person? What is it like being behind the scenes of a presidential campaign?
You know, it's a wonderful experience for anyone. For me, it was definitely eye-opening. You know, you get to see the inner workings and how people really relate and how their kind of motives involved. And, you know, when you see a political candidate on the TV or on radio or such, you know, he seems like a intangible figure.
You never see a political candidate on the radio.
Well, that's aside.
Let the man speak.
But he seems like an intangible figure, you know,
Yeah.
someone just kind of idealistic. But when you meet him in person and you get to work with him and kind of see what he wants to do and how passionate he is about issues, it totally changes your perception of them, makes them more humanistic, if you will, make them more real. And Mitt Romney is a wonderful man. I've met him several times. He's very passionate about his issues. He's dedicated to his goals and to his platform. And I personally think he's going to get the nomination, but we'll see.
Yeah.
So.
And I've heard that you were in charge of lawyers, actually, while you were working.
I was just volunteer based on one event, and it was a wonderful opportunity. You know, Governor Romney came and shook my hand and said hi to me, and it was a great opportunity.
Very exciting.
So, it was very exciting. You know, it's always wonderful whenever you can meet a candidate, or definitely a presidential candidate.
Mm-hmm. It's nice when you can put a sort of personality to the on television persona.
Precisely.
The persona that the media can tend to create.
Right.
Anyways, we are actually going to start talking just a little bit about issues, and once again, we'd like to remind our listeners that this is primarily meant to gain information about a candidate. We're not in any way trying to support or get you to vote for this candidate. It is just to make you aware of the issues that are out there and what this particular candidate's opinions are on those issues. So first of all, we had talked a little bit about what the big issues are. So could you just very quickly summarize what you think the big issues are to focus on in this upcoming election?
Well, obviously, the most important issue is the economy. Mm-hmm. I mean, our economy is just down the drain at this point, and in my personal opinion, the last 4 years have not helped. You know, he's tried to do numerous things. I'm talking about the administration, President Obama right now and his administration, and he's tried to do numerous things that in terms of economics don't make sense. He spent money in order to relieve debt, and that's not how you run a country.
Okay.
That's not how you pay back debt. And so, obviously, the economy is the most important thing, and creating a kind of a hospitable environment for job producers and for people who are looking for a job or looking to immigrate to the United States for better opportunities. That is the most important issue right now.
Okay. And in terms of the economy, you talked a little bit about decisions that Obama has made. What are the stances of Mitt Romney on say the economy, on how to create those job opportunities
Definitely.
and how to push us forward?
Well, obviously, whenever you want to create an environment that's hospitable for anything, you obviously want to offer incentives to those people. And Mitt Romney is all about offering incentives to businesses, small businesses, large businesses, on creating new jobs. And right now, you see all of our debt going to China, and you see kind of low-cost product producers in China. And so people are shifting their job sources and their manufacturing to foreign countries. And that's the big issue. What we need to do is create a hostile environment, or a hospitable environment in the United States, not hostile, to move the manufacturing bases, move the new businesses here. And how do you do that? You carry on the Bush tax cuts that are going to be ending this year, 2012, which is controversial because many people believe that they're going to be ended or taken out, which would raise taxes for business producers and for the common person. And secondly, you help. There's a lot of money being made overseas by companies, and you make it a hospitable environment for that money to bring back to the United States so they can spend that money in our economy.
Okay. And Mitt Romney, in the last few weeks, made a very highly publicized statement about not caring about the poor. And I thought we'd just very quickly talk about the context of that statement and what your opinion is on what he may have been talking about.
Definitely. Context is key in that opinion, or in that statement, rather. Because he said, I do not care about the poor. You know, they have safety nets in place, such as Medicare, or Medicaid, rather, and food stamps. He said, I don't care about the rich. They're doing just fine. I care about the common American, the middle class American. And those are the people you see really suffering. Now, on the comment, I don't care about the poor. Let's start there. There are systems within our government that keep people in the poor class or in the lower socioeconomical class from getting into extreme poverty. We have food stamps, so that way they can eat. We have programs like Medicaid, so they can get medical attention. And those programs are there to help them so you don't see extreme poverty like we see in some of the third world countries. You know what I mean? In South America or Africa. Now, are there possibly, has that system broken down? Maybe. And Mitt Romney, Governor Romney, has said multiple times, if that system is broken, I will fix it. I will find a way to mend the fence, so to speak. And I think he will, and it's one of his pledges. But what he's focusing on is the middle-class American.
Yeah.
The people who are going and looking for jobs and not finding any. And he's trying to kind of unite Americans. You see the Occupy movement. I'll just go to that quickly. And you see the Occupy movement, and they say, oh, we're the 99%. Let's go against the 1%. Well, Governor Romney's stance is that we are the 100%. We are all Americans, and we should all be working for a common goal of correcting our economy and providing for national defense. I mean, those are the two big issues, and so we should be working together instead of dividing ourselves. So
basically, people are getting caught up in these little pictures within the big picture.
Correct.
And losing sight of what the big picture is to get our economy as a whole in a stable place, and not just for one particular group and leave another group behind.
Correct, because in that middle class that Governor Romney wants to help, you have people that are creating small businesses. And right now, with taxes, with non-incentives, it's very hard to create a small business within a town. You see mom and pop shops, they're not coming up anywhere anymore.
I love the mom and pop shops.
Mom and pop shops are the best. Coffee, come on.
Hi.
And those people provide jobs to the lower socioeconomical classes, but they're not coming up in the recent decade. And so we have these big corporations, the 1%, if you will, which I hate that term, but who are kind of, they have most of the money right now because the small businesses can't emerge from the mist.
Yeah.
Brian, real quick, you look at the Romney campaign, and they released his tax returns recently.
Correct.
And he had several $1 million set aside for charitable donations. And you get the sense from the Romney campaign that, and statements he's made in the past about, charity, dwarfing the welfare system. I mean, could you speak to that a little more?
Are you speaking specifically about government welfare?
Right, exactly.
And helping, and charities kind of doing more within this sphere.
Right, which is more effective, at least in Governor Romney's view.
See, government at its basis is built on bureaucracy. Okay, and it's built on that way for several reasons. One, the founders of our great nation wanted to make everything slow in process, so that way no one could be too rash in their decisions. Now, unfortunately, it has byproducts such as the welfare system. If you want to help one specific poverty group or whatever, it has to go through a long bureaucracy. And being such, we can't adequately help these people immediately. So if you give money to charities, they're a third-party, NGO or nonprofit organization,
right,
which can work much faster in helping to keep these people alive, keep these people, in the job market, if you will, if they're looking for jobs, just provide the basic needs for these people. And I think that the welfare program does not, obviously it doesn't do it adequately, but that's just one of the byproducts of our government and kind of the bureaucracy involved.
And just a quick aside based on that, we're obviously all college students here
Right.
at Pepperdine University, and I think if you look around, you can see a greater focus among college students on things like nonprofits, and you see that that's becoming a big deal to our generation, and more college students are going out of college thinking, what nonprofit can I work at, as opposed to what big business can I work at? And that's just, it seems to be a shift in the mindset of America's youth, hopefully in a good way.
Definitely. I mean, any opportunity you can get to help those in lower socioeconomical classes, or just help those in need. I mean, you should definitely take advantage of. They're human beings, and they require the necessities and the right to life just as we do. And so we should definitely be helping them.
And since we're talking about human beings and helping out people who have just as many rights as we do, why don't we talk just a little bit about the borders? You had mentioned that when we talked before the show about America's borders, and obviously when we talk about America's borders, we're thinking Canada, keeping those Canadians,
keeping those illegal Canadians, got to keep them out.
Dang Canadians out of this country. But no, what were the things that you wanted to focus on in terms of the borders?
Well, I'm from Arizona, and so I see border issues dealing primarily with the cartels, coming across our country, bringing drugs. Illegal immigration is a big topic within my state, and I think nationally it's kind of been brushed under the rug because people don't really see it as a big deal, or they go, those crazy Arizonans, what are they talking about? But it's a huge issue. There are people being killed on the Arizona border, as well as the Texas border, as well as the California border, due to these illegal activities and due to the unsecured border. And the federal government, if you guys remember a few weeks ago, Governor Brewer went up to the Congress and asked for more, I believe it was Congress, I don't know specifically, but asked for federal troops, and asked for federal funding to help secure our border. And there was a big discourse between the administration, the executive administration, and my governor about this issue, and nothing primarily got done. And so I think one of the biggest issues, the war on the border is huge. There are ranchers going about their daily lives who have to carry AK-47s with them because they're scared that they're going to be shot that day. And basically the national government has said, well, that's not a primary issue for us. We're not necessarily concerned with you. And so we're not going to give you federal funding. We're not going to provide the National Guard more troops to come secure our border. One of the primary agents that has been working to help secure our border within Arizona is Sheriff Babu. And Babu has, I think the percentage is like a 94%, 96% secure border since he's gone in. He's the sheriff of Pinal County currently, and he's currently running for Congress. And it's just a huge deal. And then tacked onto that, you have the ATF's blunder of Project Fast and Furious, which provided AK-47s, MAC-10s, a bunch of firearms to the drug cartels. And they stated that it was to track them, as federal agencies usually do. They'll tag money for bank robbers and stuff. But they made a problem in that experiment is that they didn't track the weapons.